Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to manipulate images on the page in InDesign. We're going to want to bring in, your requirements are to have quite a few images on your boards, so we'll show you the first way, the easiest way to bring in images is to do the File, Place, or Control D. If you click that, you'll get a browser for your computer. You can check if you need to pull off the network. You can do it from here as well. I'm going to just grab this PDF file, and InDesign will bring in any Adobe file formats like PDF, Illustrator documents, PSDs out of Photoshop. It'll do JPEGs, PNGs, TIFFs, all that. Now I'm going to take this PDF and just click Open. And you'll see the cursor changes, and it's got a little preview of my image there. So wherever I click is wherever it's going to put it. So I'll just click up here. And the good thing about this is it brings in the image at 100%. If you look up here, there's your X and Y values for your proportions. They're both at 100%. So if you're bringing in scaled drawings, this is pretty important because you want to make sure that scale's right. And over here, this gives us our width and height of the actual box, and then its starting position. If we wanted to move this, we could just double click. We'll put it an inch and an inch. And same as with text boxes, you can rotate it. You can do all kinds of things if you need to. We can round the corners off if we wanted to by clicking Edit Corners. If we wanted to put a stroke around it, or a frame, right up here in the middle, this would be our color. So we'll select black. This is the thickness of that frame. We'll do it at 10 just so you can see it. And this is just if you want to. You'll notice sometimes if there is that box around there and you want to get rid of it, all you have to do is select the box and change that to 0, and that'll get rid of it. Next we will look at some other options you have. Let's say your frame was too big. There are all these fitting options, and you can get to them if you go to Object, Fitting. They're all in here. They're also up here. So this will fit the content to the frame automatically. If you're doing something that isn't scaled, you can do this. If you have a frame you want to fill, it'll automatically blow it up. If you're doing scaled images, you're really not going to want to do that, because I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but there's a little circle in here. If you click that, you'll notice the frame changes to a brown color. That means you're actually on the content, you're not on the frame. So if you need to move something around inside the frame, if you want to scale it, if scale doesn't matter, you can blow it up inside that frame. But we will do this for now. But what you'll see is when you click this, our scale is all off. After we did the fitting. So let's get back in here. Okay, we got it. And let's change this to 100 and 100. And our frame is still too big, so this option up here, Fit Frame to Content, which is also available right there, we'll make that frame exactly the size of whatever image you've brought in. got that. Let me get rid of this real quick, and we'll bring in a different image. Let's bring in, we'll go File, Place again, and let's bring in a rendering. Notice this is a JPEG image. And now if I single click, it'll bring it in at 100%. If there's something, if it's a rendering, it's not to scale, I just want it to be a certain size, I can actually drag out a box and it'll fit it inside that box. And if I click on the inside there, on the little wheel, you'll notice it brought it in at 45%. But for the rendering, it's not that big of a deal. Let's go back and click off that. And I'll show you how to get rid of some of this background. What I'll do is I'll grab the rectangle tool and just make one really quick. That's the full size of the image, of the page. And let's fill it with yellow. Okay, you'll see now our image has disappeared because it's actually underneath the box with our background color on it. There's a couple things you can do. You can hold down Control and click where the image was, if you can find it. That can be pretty confusing. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure we have the yellow box selected. We'll go up to Object, Arrange, and Send to the back. And that'll automatically put this layer underneath this layer for our image. And let's click this image. Let's say we want to get rid of all this white that's all around it, and we don't want to cut it all out. Quick way to do that is we will go up to Window and Effects, and these are blending options just like in Photoshop. So if we click Multiply, it's going to replace the lighter color with the darker color. This image, it didn't work very well because you'll notice inside the wall it got kind of yellow. You see. But it did a good job around the rest of it. And for most of your images that you're going to bring into something like this, that's going to work just fine. So we've got that. And if you want a custom shape, if you want to park this over in the right, all you have to do is grab any of the windows that you use and just drag them in here. And InDesign will keep them in here for you. If you want to create a custom shape, you can create frames, you can make a rectangle, you can use the ellipse, polygon. If you want to create a custom frame, we'll use the pen tool here, or you can hit P on your keyboard, and you can draw out any old frame you want. I'm just going to do something to okay, and then we'll hit the selection tool, and let's go to File, Place, and we'll just place that same one in there. So that gives you a little bit better idea of we moved it all over the place. So we're in this custom frame. Let's do a little fitting here. Let's fit our content to the frame, and there you go. That works out a little bit better. Anything you can draw using the pen tool can become a text frame or an image frame. So those are some real easy options for bringing in images into InDesign.